accidentally put my phone number in a newspaper ad and refuse to fix it? I'll drive you out of business, originally from you/MundaneSeesaw in r/IDontWorkHereLady. The end result of this story, which I will tell you up front, is that we lost the ability to order from several local Pizza Huts. For life. We had a phone number that was very similar to a Pizza Hut. Their number ended in 5575 and ours ended in 5515. Now these two numbers are commonly mixed up for obvious reasons. This was back before the days of cell phones and everyone having their own personal number, and we actually had to get a caller ID because of this. For years we had this Pizza Hut's client base call our house, about 50-50 split sober/drunk, and order pizzas. The thing is, people will not listen when you tell them sorry, wrong number. We would have drunk people call back 4 to 5 times and then begin screaming into the phone, "I know this is a ducking Pizza Hut, you asshole. Or give me the number or I'll kick your ass." This was pretty normal and the Pizza Hut was even aware of this and profusely apologized when we would call them. Never giving us anything for free though, despite the massive inconvenience of the phone ringing off the hook. Well, Pizza Hut corporate then pays for an advertisement on paper, billboard, and phone book. And guess what? They botched the number. They put our number on the things for the phone number as one of the locations in our town for Pizza Hut's pizza. Why? Because 1s and 7s are the same number apparently. The phone calls we get ducking explodes. It goes from like 3 to 5 phone calls a day to like 100 to 200. Initially we were directing people with a message that simply said, "This is not Pizza Hut. Their number is 4x. It didn't end. We would get calls with people screaming into the voice recording, "I want a ducking pizza, this is bullshit, I'm going to kill whoever doesn't answer this ducking phone." Aren't boomers great? We got that shit all the time from older people. I cannot tell you how many times I've been told to kill myself for trying to direct someone to the correct place, and for some ducking reason no one ever listens. Well, upon this happening, my dad calls into the Pizza Hut and says, "Look, all we want is to not have to change our number. If you guys will please change yours, or pay for ours to be changed," it was like a $10 convince fee or some shit, "we will stop getting your danged phone calls." The manager cussed my dad, who had him on speakerphone, calling him shitload of names and for getting him bad reviews as well as losing customers to his branch, which is locally owned. What a ducking joke. It's costing their business a solid 10 grand easy over a phone number. Why not just change it? I don't know. My dad looks at the phone, hangs up and says, "Okay asshole, you want to be like that about it?" My dad then instructs my 17-year-old self, and my sister, to take all calls from now on. If it rings, pick it up, take the order, and say, "Okay, your pizza should be there in 1.5 hours, then when they call back to tell them, "Sorry, the driver just left." And if they call back a third time, say, "Well, I can get you on the phone with my manager, but he's probably going to kick your ass if you keep complaining." And then switch the phone with someone else and have them say, "Listen here, witch, you aren't getting your pizza and we are keeping your money, ducking, get over it." Or something along those lines anyway. 2 weeks pass and my dad tries to get said Pizza Hut to change our number for free, never pointing out that they ducked up their ad, as apparently, they were completely oblivious to this fact. Again, the manager screams at my dad saying, "I don't have the money to change your ducking number." We even tried calling other Pizza Huts to get the issue resolved, and they're corporate with no real luck. Fair enough, it's game on time now, which why? For 2 reasons. 1. My dad got a phone with a transfer button. And 2. Because summer was rolling around, and me and my sister loved ducking with people over this. It was a really bad influence on us, tbh. We fielded phone calls every day all day long. We had friends come over and they loved partaking in the same thing. We had a general plan, every other call would get a pizza delivery. On the other calls we would get them really pissed off, talking shit to them and saying, "Okay, do you want to speak with my manager?" And just cold transfer them to the Pizza Hut. It took 6 more weeks of us doing this, and the Pizza Hut closed. A few weeks before they closed, we got a phone call from Pizza Hut corporate who more or less threatened us with a cease and desist. Sounded like they didn't really understand what was actually happening, as it accused us of stealing their phone calls. LMFAO. We called their corporate and explained what was going on, and even played our recordings of talking with them before about the issue and ignoring us. All they said is you had better stop. This is illegal. Over and over. We didn't stop. They were aware of what was going on and didn't want to do anything about it because to fix their foobar. A few weeks after the owner lost his job, he called our house and was trying to argue with my dad about how bad of a person he was because I lost money and got my ass beat several times. Apparently we had pissed a few people off so bad they actually went in and attacked him and other staff. To this day it cracks me up that a company can be so oblivious, and is the single reason I don't believe we live in anything close to a meritocracy. Anyone in this position who has any merit would instantly change the number, but not a corporation who has money to sue, and not a middle manager who has an ego problem. Edit, as I said in the title, I am not the OP. I just found it on another subreddit and wanted to share. Now to the comments. Crazy. My family had a similar issue with a Pizza Hut, though far less frequently because it was a transposed number. Most of the people were pretty cool about it. But I got into an argument with an old man about his mistake. Apparently, I, being a young no-good punk, was lying when I told him when I explained he had called a residence and not a mediocre pizza restaurant. After going back and forth with him over it, I fessed up and promised him I would send his order out for free and have it there in 45 minutes. He never did call back, so I assume the poor employees at Pizza Hut got a pretty wild call from him. I had that problem too. Except my hash was close to the IRS phone number. Phone would almost melt down around April 15th. After people would ignore our attempts at telling them it was a private hash and they dialed the wrong hash, we would take their information. We'd ask for their address, sock hash, and some weird question for security purposes, line what did they eat for breakfast yesterday, and then we'd tell them their return was delayed for 2 to 3 years, and hang up. Ducking lol. Some people are so stupid. Be told they called the wrong number, then just rattle off their ducking SSN. People this stupid deserve to go out of business. I mean, seriously, WTF did they think was going to happen when they were notified of a problem and refused to fix it? Seriously. Why is this guy mad at them for not knowing his own phone number when he put out ads? He deserved it. Because failing to ensure the proper phone number was placed in the ad is apparently not his fault. Hello, this is Pizza Hut. How can I help you? Go duck yourself. Pulls our Cards Against Humanity box. 55-gallon drum of lube. 7 consecutive seconds of happy. Profit. Make sure you're always playing this song in the background too. I feel like there was another revenge option here. Your dad could have seen if any other competing local pizza shops wanted to buy your phone number. Genius. Charge them huge amounts too. My God. The raw, crystalline thirst for vengeance that your father had. This is everything. Thank you. The John Wick of the wrong number world. Calls the pizza manager, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. All this pain for $10. Any sane business would pay $10 to fix a phone issue, especially one touching customers. If this franchisee wouldn't pay to fix the phones, you gotta believe he was miserable to work for. Pretty sure there's more to this story. I dunno, it's not all the staff's fault and they were getting assaulted. I work retail and that sounds kinda scary to be honest. Should have sued them for harassment or something because the number was wrong. Carl's Jr. Duck you, I'm eating. That's the world we're living in. Hello? Congrats, you just won a free pizza. Similar but happier story. I've had my number since 2012. But over the past few years I've been getting a bunch of calls asking for an immigration attorney named Bob. not his real name. 95% of the calls are in Spanish, I don't speak Spanish, and the rest are admin related like his doctor's office, etc. I was really annoyed that this guy was giving my number out as his until an English-speaking caller finally figured it out while on the line. Bob and I have identical numbers, but mine contains 71 where his contains 17. His business seems to be very word of mouth, so people keep copying the wrong number, my number, for their family and friends. I practiced a Spanish phrase to direct people to the correct number, so now I get to help people get in touch with Bob several times a week. I was trying to change service providers earlier this month, Black Friday and Verizon was having massive issues transferring my number. It took 2 weeks, 5 trips to the Verizon store and 20 plus total hours on hold to make it happen. Not exaggerating. It would have been easier to just get a new number, but I stuck to it and insisted that they figure out how to keep my old number so I can keep helping people reach Bob. You should ask Bob for a referral fee. At this point he's Bob's PA,